Hey everybody, welcome, and welcome again. I know you're like, girl, we don't see your camera. What is happening? I'm excited to be with you all today. I'm gonna play a little vibes. I love vibes. Vibes are good, right? And so I got my own vibes that I like to play. And so I'm gonna play this one vibe. And then once I play this one vibe, we're gonna get rocking and rolling. I'm so excited that you and all decided joining us on today. Those who are joining us live, those who are joining us on replay, hello. How are you? Welcome, and welcome again. Make sure you drop in the chat, right, where you're tuning in from, right? What's one nugget you want, like one thing, like of the list of things we posted, or something else that you want to get from this conversation. Also, if you got questions already, you got questions, I have answers. Okay, and so if you have a question, definitely put your question in the chat. I'm gonna be looking in the chat to make sure that I'm answering those questions on today. I'm so excited. Listen, I'm all about testing some things, I'm all about new things, and I'm all about seeing how things work, right? And so I'm excited about that. I hope you are excited today. I hope you got your notebooks. Hope you have your pen, a pencil, something that you're able to take some notes with, maybe some aha moments with, all that great stuff. So again, like I said, I'm gonna play this song, and once I play this song, then we're gonna get rocking and rolling. Let's go. If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up on these stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Turn it up. Line 'em up. Swear the sun shining on me, get my heart up, no matter the trouble surrounding us. They don't see that it's a lot of us. Everybody moving anonymous. Won't take that credit, I know what we getting. Invested coming from none of us. I was doing all kind of bad, what a quiet, selling money and verse. If the few would tell God he's first. If the studio, the body and verse. I remember pushing mama a little way high, there was no gas money. I just bought a car, cash money. I ain't even trying to brag on it. I just tell it how it really is. I ain't tripping, they ain't feeling this. I ain't saying I deserve nothing, I'm just trying to talk about the benefits. I've been punching in the clock, trying to keep the kitchen stocked. Man, it's a blessing, cause we ain't never had a lot. But all we need is all we got. Woo. If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up on these stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Cut it up, 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 cut it up. Blessings. Cut it up, 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 cut it up. Mama in the picture, stop stressing. I put my girl in a brand new diamond necklace. She said she need more of my love and affection. Cause lately I've been working harder than ever. She said, baby, you a boss. Baby, please catch it. Darling, you a boss. Let's do something special. Take me on a PJ. We should go to Mexico. I've been there for you, but since when the money was low. Anything for my man, cause she a blessing. If you woke up just morning, it's a blessing. If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up on these stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Blessings. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Blessings. Could have lost it. Yeah, never leaking like a faucet. Almost lost it. Everything that I got out of my fam. Part of the plan. I was eating private lonely out of the pan. Y'all don't understand. I was trying to get it. I'm in that studio trying to keep it pushing. Had it clouds before I kept it cooking. All I needed was a Mary, but the guy that needed was having commentary. Woo! I got angels all around, I can read a paper. Blessings falling in line, guess I need a taper. And every loss was a lesson. Tell my haters I confess. Treat them like the green bubbles on my iPhone. Probably never read the message. If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to kill my body stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Cut it up, cut it up,
Well, welcome, welcome, and welcome again. I am so excited to be with each and every one of you on this, what is being actually live recorded this beautiful afternoon. I'm your girl, Martisha Tish LaCroix, affectionately known as T. LaCroix. In this capacity, I am the CEO and co-owner of the LaCroix Agency, where we do event talent and systems management. I'm excited to be with each and every one of you on today. It's a hat wearing kind of day. It's a relaxed day here in the office, but we're still a working day. And so, we come as we are around here, right? And so we're excited that you decided to join us. Listen, be sure to like, comment, share, put your comments in the chat. Be sure to make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook. And I got some other things that's happening, but definitely those two places. And then I think the team is talking about bringing back our Twitter account. We're going to do some nuggets over there. But I'm excited to be with you all on today as we recap 2022. It has been a very, define it as a roller coaster ride in all areas, but we're excited about what it has really brought business wise. And here's the thing I want to tell all of you: when it comes to business, you got to understand there are twists and turns, there are ups and downs. There's no real direct, I don't care, nobody try to tell you, is no real direct to the end result, right? You're gonna hit some bumps in the road. You're gonna move, the things gonna get moved around. You're gonna make some different decisions. Why? Because that's what business is all about. It is all about you saying, I'm gonna take the bull by the horn and I'm gonna take it as it is, and I'm gonna move as it moves. And so I'm excited to be with y'all. Y'all know today is the we outside, we back outside address, and it's something that we begin to do at the end of the year, especially we're post COVID era, where we have redefined what events are like. We have redefined the room. I see I got my board right here in case I decide to write. We have redefined the room. Listen, also, I want to remind everybody, even if you're watching this on replay, definitely tell us where you're tuning in from. Tell us, put your question in there. We're going to figure out how to get those out, right? But put your question in there. Contact our office. I'm going to be posting a link up here that you can actually post, contact the office by any means, and you can definitely get your questions and answers there as well. But anyway, as I was saying, we're in a post COVID era, right? We're back outside, meaning that outside is open. Outside is now in a place where people are actually going outside, right? They're actually going to events, they're attending facilities. Let me tell you, people are attending events when you're looking at football stadium arenas, football stadiums, arenas, right? Arenas, you're looking at baseball stadiums, you're looking at basketball arenas. All these places are being packed out, sold out. You've seen the increase in the influx in pricing as inflation is taking place. And so many of you may not know or never thought about, hey, I can host my own live events. And here's the thing, I wanna dead the myth on a couple of things today. But one of the first things I really want to dead the myth on is I want to dead the myth on the fact that if you're not doing 1,000, 10,000, 30,000 arenas, baseball stadiums, I've seen those events. I've seen events taking place in convention centers, football stadiums, all these different things. If you feel like, hey, I'm not doing those kind of, I was going to say football numbers, y'all forgive me. I'm not doing those kind of numbers, I can't host events. That's absolutely not true. There are so many, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but there's so many unique venues. There's so many unique cities. And that's point B. These are bonus points I want to bring to your attention and really stir up your energy about. First things first is, even though you're not doing those type of numbers, it's okay, right? One of the things I want to tell you is the agency, we specialize in 200 or less events. So I'm going to be honest with you. We brought averaging about 150 max for events. Now, here's the thing. That's a choice that we made as a company. Why? Because we want to make a different type of impact. We're the starter people, in the events realm, in the meetings, convention space. We don't even call it really events. We call it meetings and conventions for the most part. In those spaces, we're what's considered small tier, right? We're the smaller events. Any event 200 or less is considered small. I know you're like, T, Wow. Most people think 25 is small, but really they consider anything 200 or less to be a small event. Why is that powerful? Here's the thing. You have buying power, all right? Many of you want to be in Atlanta. I couldn't get it out. Many of you want to be in a New York City. Many of you want to be in a let me see, in a Las Vegas or a Los Angeles. But have you ever thought about, I could be in a Smyrna, right? I could be in an Alpharetta. I could be in a Peachtree City. I could be in a Long Island. I could be in those different smaller areas around Staten Island. I think that's the other place. Those smaller areas, right? Your Rochesters, right? Those places where tourism may not be their biggest thing, they all have uniqueness to them. Like you may want to be in Orlando, and I'm telling you, go to Kissimmee, right? I'm telling you, you may go to Daytona Beach when there's not beach season or when it is not race car season, because it's still warm. Well, it wasn't warm these past couple of days, but it's still warm in those areas. And now you can still really receive the value in location that you may not thought you could receive. So I'm just letting you know a couple of things. Number one, you do not have to be a big event to see a big meeting to get massive impact, to get those great locations. And number two, I want you to think outside the box of what we call the tier one cities, right? Well, I'm talking about your tier two and tier three cities, where here we go. This is a prime example. For many of you say, I want to go to Dallas, Texas. Well, let me tell you, you got Irving, you have Fort Worth, you have Arlington, you have all these cities outside. And guess what? They're in a better proximity to the airport than Dallas. Y'all see where I'm going with this? If you want me to put some ones in the chat, put some ones. Let's talk about this. So I want to let you know that you're not. You have to think, because we hear the big city and we feel like if we're not there, then we're not going to get the impact that we need, and that's not true. Right. So I want to dismantle that myth. I want to dismantle the myth that you have to have these big events to see massive impact. I want to dismantle the myth that you have to be what we call a tier one city in Atlanta, right? Your big city, any major cities, that's considered a tier one city. You're Dallas, you're Houston, right? And even in those cities, let me say this too, even in those cities, you have what we call boutique locations, right? Where they don't have the massive convention space, 20, 30,000 square feet. You may not need that. You may only need 10,000. You may only need 5,000, right? Because you have what we call a smaller meeting. And guess what? Those spaces are available in those hotels that may not do the big conventions, right? Those smaller meetings. I'm going to tell you, they're not really building any more meeting space. I'm just being honest. If they're building it, they're either revamping it or it's a new space, meaning that they're building a new convention center. But let me be honest with you, they're not building any more of these 50,000 seaters, okay, unless they're adding on to what already exists. All right. So and also too, let me tell you, I'm all for big and large events. We study that. We like how they move. But let me be very clear with you. There's a whole other massive piece that goes along with these large events, right? And I'm gonna talk about why teamwork is important, but they're talking about they got to get city permits, right? They have to have police escorts. They're looking at how they're moving these thousands of people around, security. It's a lot. Even though they bring volume to a city, right? It's still a lot of moving parts. And the bigger you go, the more moving parts you have to make sure are covered. Or, you have what we call risk management. You have to manage that throughout the process. And so I just want to kind of start out with that to kind of give you a foundation, because many of you may have thought about having events. Many of you may say, I don't know if I really want a large event. People say, I never even thought about having an event live. I've been on lives. I've been on behind the computer, right? I've been maybe invited, but what if I invited people to me? Many of you are entrepreneurs, you're experts in your field, you're professionals who now have branched off, right? You are nonprofits who said, listen, I want to get this information to the masses, and it's so vitally important that you do. So I want to just mention that real quick as I go into this. So let's talk about a couple of things today. A couple of things I want to talk about, give you an overview, is I want to talk about why you should host live events, right? Not just because I'm an event manager by trade, but I understand the difference between what the difference of impact it makes when you're in a room. And I get it. We're post-COVID. A lot of people are just going to do virtual. Like, this is going to do it, right? And so that's something I want to mention to you. You need to expect that 50% of those people that you invite that are on your list are only gonna come in the capacity of virtual. Are you prepared for that? Because I don't want you to miss the money on the table. I don't want you to miss that you can sell a product. I don't want you to miss that you can get it done because you're saying, hey, no, you have to be there to get it. You're missing out on so much more exposure. You're missing out on so much more of people to touch you, to touch, because you made a decision that I'm just going to do in person. And that's not, and I'm speaking to a lot. We have some church nonprofit clients. So I'm speaking to you too, because many of you have not mastered the online presence because you haven't invested in the online presence. You haven't invested in, lighting. You haven't invested in better equipment. And I'm not saying larger equipment, right? Because we've seen, we're looking at these cameras. We're like, okay, they're like $10,000, $20,000, but we have product that didn't cost that much when we decided to open up that stream. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But you have to invest in that piece. You have to have people to work it. It doesn't work itself. It's a working product. Make sense? All right. Yes, yes. As I heard my coach say, yes, yes. All right. So I want to let you know that we're going to talk about that. Why shows live events, right? How you can maximize with live events. We're going to talk about the maximization, like maximize the people, maximize the income. Right? You want to have a return on your investment. At minimum, you need to break even, right? But you want a return on your investment. We're going to talk about how starting small can take you far, right? Start small is not a bad thing. Don't negate small beginnings, right? The difference between an event planner and an event manager. And I really want to talk about this because many of you have not picked up a team or picked up somebody who can be your eyes and ears on the ground because you don't know the difference. Right. And I'm going to say this too, for those of you not really familiar with our lingo in this arena, I want you to understand that there are different titles and different that people do. You got to get out of putting an event decorator in an event planner mindset. An event coordinator. There's different pieces and different titles, and you got to be very clear when you select someone exactly what they're going to do, right? We're offering packages, we're revamping. There's a lot of things happening in our office, but what exactly are they capable of doing? Not you're saying, hey, I need a registered person to handle my registration, and then they say, oh yeah, I can do that. Well, what systems are you using? These are questions you got to ask, right? Are they on the cutting edge of innovation of what's happening, right? So that's something you want to look into. You want to say those different things, right? And then, of course, we're going to talk about why having a team is important, but yet having an event manager is game changing. Oh my goodness, we're going to talk about that. And then we'll do some Q&A, right? I want to make this as simplified as possible. I want you to be in a position where you're actually getting value and I'm not overwhelming you, right? Because we love what we do here at the agency. So like it can be overwhelming, right? It can be like, oh my gosh, it's so much information. At the end of the day, my goal is that you really think and consider, hey, you know what? I could host a live event. This is my budget and I can make it work. So first thing first, I want to tell you, as I said, why you should host live events. I want to let you know that collaboration is key. So when you're hosting a live event, right? This gets everybody out of their normal place. Live events reposition you. It's environmentally, right? When you put people in a different environment, they'll produce differently, right? They either adapt or they're going to change or they just going to die. They're going to adapt, change, or die. Because even if I took a fish out of this water and put him in a different water, right? I change his water out. He's going to say, okay, I either have to adapt, I have to change, or I'm going to die. Right. So it puts them in a position where now they're really focused on you. They're focused on the knowledge. They're not on a live stream like we are right now, where they're like, hey, I got the kids running around. I'm going to turn my camera off. So now you have their undivided attention. Right. That's the beauty of it. So it puts them in an environment where they're different. It allows them to collaborate with other people. Listen, I'm a strong believer that really the information that you're getting is not just on the stage. It is not just the people teaching, but it is the people who are in the room as well, who can cultivate, who can stir up the ideas and gifts that you may have. Yes, yes. Right? Come on, put some fire to you. Think that's true. Like you've been to an event where you're like, yes, I got nuggets from the stage, but baby, I got some nuggets from the people I was in the room with. Right? So that's so vitally important. So it allows them to collaborate with others. It allows them to be in an environment they really can focus in and hone in on the mission at hand. It allows for you, right? Because the thing is, you want to talk about how the people are going to benefit from being with you. Okay? I want to talk about how people gonna benefit. Because if they don't, if I'm talking about the benefits of what they're going to get out of it, they're like, okay, I'm more apt to come, right? So you got that. You got to understand that you get to introduce yourself to new people. Well, how does that look? When I introduce myself to new people, I'm in a position where I am able to now say who never ever experienced me, who's never known me, who's never seen me.
Where are your keys? I missed my stuff. I gotta go get it.
I'm gonna leave it a minute. So I apologize.
Are you gonna go get it?
Okay. Did you call Marie?
Yeah, I already talked to them. They just asked for no.
I'll talk to you in a minute. Sorry, yeah. This is the beauty of home-based business, okay? But anyway, so they're put in a position where now you can connect with them on another level. I apologize. You can now connect with them, right? They're in a position now you're putting yourself with new people. So now the new people that didn't know you before now get to know who you are in this element. They maybe only had a taste of you through different things on your screen. They maybe only had an inside of you through other things. But guess what? Now they have an in-person touchable moment with you, right? Also, I want you to know that you can now be in a place where you can maximize with the virtual function. This is what I want to talk about, which is why we did it this way. So one of the things we've added to our business is a virtual component, right? And the virtual component is now my staff can go out and we can actually, all we will do as far as your event is concerned is run your virtual component. And so one of the products that we use, which is why I'm telling you it's so important that the people you use as far as an event manager is concerned, event planner, is that you're asking particular questions, right? And so we have different software that we're using. In this particular software, StreamYard has updated some things. And so now they have made it to where you can host virtual experiences, right? With Zoom meetings, they have Zoom meetings and then they have Zoom webinar, which is this kind of StreamYard's version of Zoom webinar, to where now y'all know how people do. Come on, let's talk about the people that come off mute. They talking loud in the background, and what it is you don't have the staff, right? You don't have the staff to sit back there and actually mute people or block people or admit people. You a one-man band. And so now what we provide with this live stream service is that we provide the fact that we do have cameras, we do have mics, we do have a sound system that we can connect all together. We can back record, and now people can come back and get the recording. We have new cameras in play now, and now we can interact with your audience, right? So now let's say your audience is on here. Our team can go and say hello, right? Oh, I spun around. I'm playing around, y'all, with it. Y'all gotta look. The girl is playing with it. Right, we can talk to the audience, right? We can talk back and forth, and while what you are maximizing your space. We can also do now things with this I'm gonna show you some old stuff I have up here, so don't y'all judge the old stuff. But I want to show you just to kind of get you some vision happening, right? We can now create your what they call lower thirds. Listen, I have no skin in the game to not give you the tea, right? I'm losing if I'm taking the tea. So now we can create the lower thirds. We can create the different things that now comes on the screen for you. Okay, so that's all in a way that we're able to maximize with our clients. It's something we've added to make it economical for people. Listen, I don't want to say I'm all for the little guy. I'm all for the growing guy. I'm all for the person who has a vision and going forward and what they're trying to do. And so that's what I want you to understand, right? We're in a place where we are doing these advanced things. And so you're asking those questions. I'm telling you being in the meetings, in the rooms, that it's going to be 50% of the people you want to fill the room. Let's be realistic, right? But I'm telling you, if you're inviting 1,000, 2,000 people, that's the following you have. 500 of those people are going to want to do a virtual component. They're not going to want to be in the room, and you have to be prepared. We just got lighting, right? We upgraded some lighting. I talked to the team. They're like, we have to change the bulbs, but hey, we're providing this better lighting to where now we can actually do a virtual component for our clients. And so that's a separate piece, right? There's different things. So you want to ask, like, hey, can you get these things that we offer? Y'all with me? Y'all tell me if y'all with me. I'm multitasking. Y'all with me? Let's go. Put some ones in the chat if you're with me. So that's how you can maximize on live events. It's going to grow your audience, okay? Because you can say, hey, follow me, right? It's going to grow your audience, all right? It's going to also put you in a position where you may feel like I'm overwhelmed with the pricing, but now really I'm in a place where I can add a video component and I don't have to do that. I don't have to actually be the one to do it. I have people managing that for me. It also puts where you can sell your products, right? Listen, some of you have some great products. I'm looking at stuff on my desk, y'all. So I'm like, listen, you got great products, but you ain't getting them in the hands of nobody. You got great digital products that they've never experienced you. So now they're experiencing you. They're getting more products. Y'all see what I'm saying here? So now listen, hey y'all, I'm exclusively selling these expo markers. Shout out to expo markers. Exclusively at this event. I'm not doing this package no other place. Now they're taking you home with them. That's how you maximize on product sales. In addition, now collaboration is key. So now listen, people, how they're winning. Hey, I'm in the room with people where I got all your nuggets, but hey, sister Sledge over here that told me the key of something else I didn't know I was gonna get. Why? Because I was in the room. I was in your room. Right? These are your people now collaborating to build now more collaborations. You just became the connector. Woo! All right. So that's the part. That's how you maximize on, right? You got to be in a position where, listen, I don't have to be at the Ritz-Carlton, but baby, I can be at the Hilton and still make impact, right? Next thing I want to talk about is how starting small, right? I skipped what I went to maximizing your product out. Child, my bad. Let me go back for a second. 3 things that people, I want to say why you shows live events. I want to go back and reiterate this. Educate, because I skipped down to maximizing. I was so excited about maximizing the event. I forgot all about what I put my notes. All right, so maximizing meaning that you're gonna educate. Y'all got to come with some knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, and here's the thing with the agency, I vet all my clients. I know it's like that's messed up. Like I'm paying you, but it's a reason why. Because I know personally from Artisha LaCroix, T. LaCroix, my true divine purpose is to connect people to tailored tools to help them win. So business-wise, my business has to be in a position where I want people who are actually giving real tools that people can walk away and do. So you're the expert, okay? You are the expert. Let's get it done. Let's get your expertise in front of somebody that's want to say, listen, I want to pay to hear what you have to say. You also are, like even talking about collaboration, the experience and the engagement. People need to be engaged. That's why you got, listen, we was in COVID. That's cool. I'm all for online meeting, child. I can take it in the car. That's cool. But here's the key I want to tell you. People need to touch. People need to be in the room. There's an energy when I get on stage, when I'm in an event room that I give off that I can't give to y'all virtually. I know y'all hear me excited about events, but when I'm in the room, it's a whole different situation. And so you got to be ready. You got to be willing to be in that, right? Third thing is I want to let you know that it's encouraging to people. People are encouraged by you. They're encouraged by others that who sacrificed to come, who want to say, hey, I did all of this and now I'm making it happen. So that's something you want to be a part of. And then again, I'll recap. Maximize the event. You can maximize your live event by what? You can collaborate with other people in the room, sell your products, introduce yourself to new people, and of course, add on that virtual component. Now, let's go on to this part right here. I'm so sorry, y'all. I get excited. Like I really do. Events are like, it's life-changing. Live events are life-changing. Y'all don't understand. People don't go to sporting events because, yeah, they love the team, but it's something different when you're with another fan that you don't even know. This fan just came from, let me give you a prime example. My son went to Dallas to see the Dallas play the Eagles. He's an Eagles fan. I'm a Dallas fan. My husband is a Giants fan. But anyway, and he got in the room, and guess what? He met people from all over the country or all over the world who love the Eagles. And now he's in this room and he gets to collaborate with them and talk to them. He met somebody else from Chicago that lives in Greensboro, right? It was a crazy connect, but it's a connection. Y'all see what I'm saying? So, okay, so that's that. Next thing I want to tell you is that starting small can take you so far. So let me be very clear on a couple of things. I personally attend, on average now it's gone up 3 to 4 event planner conferences per year. I'm strategic with the ones that we attend because of the clients. Again, I told you in the beginning that we only have 200 or less attendees, right? 200 or less attendees. That's our market, right? So what happens is that I go to the big boy conferences, okay? I'm talking about the ones where these are big tier, we're going tier 1 cities, your Atlantas, your Charlottes, your Orlandos, your Miamis, your New York City. Those are all considered tier 1 cities. And so I'm in those rooms, but I realize that I know the attrition, I know the inflation, I know the pricing and to be in those cities. Okay. So I also go to conferences in the smaller markets. We call them tier 2, tier 3 cities that are small. These are what you call, the best way to explain it is these are cities that if you have Atlanta, that's around Atlanta. Your Lithonia, your what's the other city? Smyrna, your Stone Mountains, your what's the place called? Marietta, College Park. Peachtree City, Alpharetta. These are what they call your smaller tier cities. And these are so important to you. Make note of this, because what you will not pay in the city, what you will not pay being in those cities is you don't have to pay for parking, right? A lot of those have free incentives for your meeting to be there. I'm talking about down to different things like name badges. I'm talking to things like your tote bags you need that you don't have to pay for, because that doesn't come out your budget, because the city has incentives for that. Y'all see what I'm trying to tell you? They have what we call incentives for paying back to the master. These are places you can go. Literally, I'm 2 steps from the main city, but hey, I'm getting better rates. I'm getting more flexibility, and so that's important when you're starting small. Y'all see what I'm saying? Yes, yes. Put some fire in the chat. You with me? So here's an example. I was in Texas in a meeting. I didn't realize how many smaller cities Texas really had. But I'm gonna tell you, down to your Corpus Christi's, down to your Galvestons, down to your, where that Fort Worths, your Arlingtons, your Irvins, like these cities have incentives. What I'm not paying in Fort Worth, and it was another city, I know where it is. I'm not paying for parking, right? I'm not paying for that over there. I'm also getting more rates, better rates at resorts. I'm talking about the average rate in these smaller cities in Texas, at literally 125 right now. 125. Like that's pennies, right? I'm talking about, we can get them down to 89, depending on the time of the year. So when you're starting small, those rates are important to you. Those rates are exciting to you. And the fact that certainly name badges, notebooks, pens, transportation to and from the airport can be picked up by your city if you're bringing the right numbers and the right volume. So you got to understand, starting small is not a bad thing. You can be creative. We have clients who use, I would say Airbnb, but not really that. But we have cities like we have a client that's doing a city in doing an event in Destin, Florida. Well, there are a beach town where they're doing a time of year that ain't really peak season for them. So guess what? Now we're talking to these different rental homes because they're doing a retreat. But yet I have connections in the city. So now I have a dear friend who went to their city, and now she's like, listen, Tish, I can get you this right here. So you got to understand that creativity is key, that you're willing to say, hey, I'll take it from the main city and put it in a suburban city of that city. These cities are really like, they have downtowns and everything. They're not like, really, suburban. But you got to think about that starting small allows you to build from event to event. You get more buying power when you're small. Here's the key. We're back testing this with a couple of clients. So here's what you can do, right? You can take a city, right? And you can say, listen, I'm going to be in Columbia. That's where we're based out of. I'm going to be in Columbia, South Carolina for this event. This is a client that just did this. I promise y'all. She did an event in Columbia. She had about 8 people show. You're like, Tish, that's nobody showed up. But the type of event she does, that's a lot of people for her, right? So we did 8. People were talking about it on social media. It was like, when is your next one? So now we built this list of people where, hey, we're telling them, hey, this is the next one. We did another one just this last week in December. We revamped the event, right? So we can strategically duplicate it. And now she's like, okay, I did another one. We had 10 people show up. And I'm going to say one 10 people from Columbia. We had people from North Carolina 2 and 3 hours away come. And now we're ready to do another one. Now, here's what happens. At this one, we announced the next one. So they knew people that wanted to, they're on their social media. They said, listen, I learned this here. And now we're taking it on the road. Now, here's the key. At the end of 2023, she will do what is called a retreat. Now, this is why I'm telling you small is good. I'm sitting up in my seat because I got to really give y'all this nugget. She's doing one every quarter, or no, every other month leading up into this three-day retreat. And we're talking about the 3-day retreat during these events because now they're like, listen, if I got this for $299, I'm going to pay $1,000 and I'm getting 3 days and meals and all of this. That's why small is big. Small is big, listen, small is big. You got buying power, right? You can really build from event to event. I'm looking at my notes so I don't miss anything, right? There's a less financial strain on you. I'm telling you some deals we can cut when we do small events that we can't do when we do big ones. I'm just telling you the truth. We get buying power. My son went to one of the new hotels of Hilton. They had, I think he said they could sit like 30 people in this, and it's very unique. They redid a old industrial building. It's a very unique property, but they have very nice things. And he's like, Mom, we can definitely do events here. 30 people. Add that up. The meeting space, I think, was like $200, $300. And one added up, if you charging 200 people to come. We're not talking numbers. I'm just telling you. You get creative on location. Just told you I got a client doing a beachfront property, right? They're doing an actual rental, right? And we have access to the beach. So now she want to do the yoga on the beach. They can walk right to the beach, and it has a pool, and it has a jacuzzi. All that stuff is there. Come on, you have creativity on location. We're doing a retreat. In-house is really for, of course, my personal brand, but of course the agency is planning it. We're doing a retreat. We have this really neat facility in Charlotte that I really like, and it's very, very neat. So we'll host our retreat every year at this point until, I say the Lord tell us otherwise. I'm being honest and transparent. But guess what? It's a creative location to do what we need to do. You get that type of creativity when you're doing smaller events, right? It's easier. It's easier to travel within, right? And I'm telling you, I say that because when you think of a Dallas, let me tell you, it's like 45 minutes. I think somebody told me to the airport from Dallas. Irving is where the airport is, 10, 15 minutes, if that. 3 miles, 8 miles. I don't know how miles it is. It's very right there. It's literally right there. So now I can do an event in Irving and still get the city feel. Come on, just letting y'all know. Also, small events give you This is how Starting Small works. Testimony after testimony. I think we have like 20 recordings of testimonials for one of our clients' events. And guess what we're going to do? We're not going to post flyers, right? We're going to repackage those testimonies as a means for them to what? Sign up for the event. Come on, somebody. Are you with me? You got to use them. I'm just telling you, you prepackage those testimonials. I got testimonials from a client who did a women's conference. I'm about to pull every last testimonial. We're going to repackage those, and we're not posting flyers. We're posting the testimonials, posting them as reels. We're posting those. Why? Because people want to hear real people tell them how the experience was. So if you got 5, this is a true story. I don't know if my business partner, aka my husband, is on here. He can put facts in the chat if this is a true story. We did an event. We took a group of women to Florida. We're supposed to take a whole group. People didn't want to go, right? They didn't want to pay the money. I'm just going to be transparent. We ended up taking, I was going to cancel. And the 6 that paid said, hey, no, I want to go. I ended up driving 6 of them, myself personally, to Florida, spent a whole weekend with them. It was 4 or 5 days with them. And guess what? That one trip turned into 30 people. We're taking a charter the next year. No cap, as my kids would tell me. That's how it went. Why? Because people want to hear people's experience. If I hear you had a great time and you still talking about it, I gotta go next year. Like what? And I trust your judgment. So word of mouth is still the name of the game for you, and that's how your events can grow, right? So next thing I want to do, and I'm gonna wrap this up with these last few things, is the difference between an event planner and an event manager. Let me talk about that real quick. And for those of you just joining us, listen. If this is done correctly, y'all, we tested this out for the company. If this is done correctly, you should be able to get back on here and watch the whole replay. I had some hiccups, but I'm all for the hiccups, y'all. I'm all for the hiccups. I'm all for hiccups. Like things happen, life happens. It's all good. So I'm gonna go to these last few things. I'm gonna wrap up with this. The difference between event planner and event managers. Let me address this for a second. Many of you won't hire an event planner because you need nobody to plan. So here's the only difference. Can an event planner be an event manager? Yes. The only difference between the two is an event planner is the creative side of event management. Meaning that you want to host a women's conference. I'm using this example, but you don't have no theme. You don't know exactly. You got it all in your head. So the planner is saying, I'm going to help you do the creativity of it. We're helping you work the flyers. We're helping you get the theme. If it's a spiritual retreat, we're helping you get the scripture. We're helping you do all these different things from the creative side of an event. All right. So that's what they do outside of a manager. What a manager does is you've already done all that. You got your flyer, you got your theme, you got kind of how some basis of your moving parts, what you got vision for. Like, I want vendors, but I want these type of vendors. I want, I desire these things. The manager gonna come and we'll say, okay, this is all good and this is cool, but let's have some conversation. So we see your vision, we know the vision, you already kind of have those moving parts in play. Our job as a manager is to come in and say, not just let me manage what you're doing, but also let me help you kind of bring it all into full circle. Because sometimes I'm a visionary. So sometimes us visionary, we crazy, right? We be all over the place. Okay. So many of you do need an event manager. Now, let me tell you, you can write this down. You can ask my friends. We're going to tell you the truth, who are in this hospitality industry. Let me let you know something. Some of the people you have on your team are not event manager material. You need to outsource. You need to have them come in and pay them to do it. Because there is some characteristics of event people that you're going to know. I just told you a couple when we first started. Number one, you got to ask certain questions, right? When you say, hey, do you do this? That ain't how that should go. If you say, listen, let's say I have a friend, he's an event decorator, right? He don't plan events, but he can decorate. I mean, he's engineered, right? So your questions are going to be things like, okay, so you plan events, give me some samples. Like, tell me who you plan, that I can actually literally go ask them or see their review, and then you work with them and see their event, right? There are some things you're going to ask them, like, okay, well, I need somebody to manage my registration. You say, okay, I can do that. Next question is, what you going to manage it with? Because I'm going to ask the question of what registration system are you using? Y'all with me? These are questions I'm going to ask you. What are you using already? Because there are actual registration management systems that we have access to. I have several, but depending on the client's event determines what we're going to use. I'm not a fan of Eventbrite. Let me tell you the truth. I'm not a fan of Eventbrite. Why? Eventbrite is high. Eventbrite does not allow you to really break up your payments. We were in a room with another company, and I love these. Let me tell y'all, put twos in the chat if you like me and love startup companies, because they really have different things that I need. So we got with a company, we met at an event at a conference, and they do registration, and there's some things that they do that I need. So I'm actually, we talk about testing it on clients. I love my clients and let me test stuff on them all the time. They're like the coolest clients ever, right? And so that's a different management system. I have a client right now using JotForm because we trying to get around something we're trying to do. So we use a JotForm, and then I send her information and she invoices them because we're people to make payments. So I have another client that uses a different software we use because the fee that they're charging, like they're only like $100 or less events. We use this particular one. Why? Because we can build out a whole landing page for the client. So I'm going to ask those questions. What you already using? Is it working? How can you now take those same people that register and dump them into your CSM system? Is it CSM? Customer service? No, it's a customer management system. So now you can actually follow with them. Come on, let's talk about it. So when you're actually vetting people, ask those questions. Listen, I need some, and we're a type of business, and it's not, listen, I want you to get somebody. We're the type of business where we don't have to do everything. I had a client flew me in to really just run her show, and I ran her show, and she paid very well for us to do it. We ran her show. She said, T, I wouldn't be able to do it without you. So that's maybe all that we do. I was on her before, and she had an actual app, and I learned the app. She gave me access to everything. So we was pushing notifications out, right? Do you have people that know that they're actual? I don't have to listen. We don't have to call every hotel in the city because I have relationships with several. I was looking for something on my desk. This probably help y'all. I'm not in here. No, these are my business cards. There's like a bag in here that my team is going through. A bit like we actually talk to people. I was looking for it on my desk, right? That we're in relationship with. I'm just talking about we met them, but we have relationships. Do they have relationships with cities? Do they know people and those people know their name? This is what you're asking them because you don't have time to waste when it comes to events. There's not a lot of time, but you got to get it promoted. We got to lock in the location. And once we lock that in, we need to start getting these flyers out, right? I'm just telling y'all real questions that I ask when I'm in a meeting with a client. I want to understand where you are because that tells me where you need me. I know my aggression, right, level. And so are you willing to release all the reins to the person that's running the show? All my clients know showtime, you're not in charge. I have two clients in Las Vegas. I text her before I landed. You do not effective midnight today. I'll run the show until I leave. She was like, I get it. It took her a while to get there, but she's like, I get it. I'll run the show till it's time for us to go. Nobody should be asking you anything. She'd be like, ask Tish, I don't know. I'm putting out every fire. Me and my team, we're putting out every fire. Her only comment should be like, ask Tish, ask the agency, right? Tish, I need you to take care of this. She should not be dealing with any fires while we're on site. That's important to me. That's important to my team. Why? Because you didn't hire me to stand around and ask you questions. You hired me to solve the problem, that you can focus on presentation. Those are things you have to ask the people. And so when you're looking at your team, and let me tell you, and this takes me to the last point. Unless you have questions, y'all can ask me anything. I promise y'all I'll answer. But I want to go into one piece that I'm missing here. Having a team is important. Y'all got to stop this one-man band stuff, right? Even if it's somebody coming in, like one of my clients in Vegas, I didn't plan her event, right? I came in on the back end, solving problems for her and running the day of show. She was well pleased with that. That's what she needed from us as an agency. Right. But you having a team is important. I have people that actually have volunteer staff. One of the things that we're bringing into 2023 is one of my goals is not just increasing our staff numbers, but one of my main goals is that I'm making relationship contacts with different schools that have hospitality programs that I can get volunteers to come in. And if you can afford to feed them and give them a shirt, and guess what? Here's the key. You're investing in them because why? They're hearing the same information everybody else is hearing and they're working. Those relationships that me and my partner is building this year is that we're building those intern style relationships that now we can write those letters of internship hours to those students that need them. Now you've not given back to the community. And so that's something we're offering our clients as we go into these different cities to partner, say, listen, can you get us these students? And we're willing to write educational out, write what's it called? Internship hours. We're going to feed them all day, right? And we're also going to provide them a shirt and they're going to get the knowledge. They may get a gift bag and all that. So that's something that I want to take. So your team is important. And here's the thing. Stop putting people in positions that they're not qualified for or they're not willing to learn and understand. Because being an event manager this is the best example I can give you. We're playing this game. And they asked, who would you be in the grocery store? And everybody says, I would be this person. And I said, I would be the manager. Because I got to see everything. I got to know everything and I got to see everything. That's what event planners do. That's what event managers do, right? Again, I'm going to reiterate, a planner helps you with the visionary portion. Meaning there, like I'm going to use my dear friend who has Reignited Women International. She does Reignited Women International Conference. She's a visionary. She knows her theme. She knows her color. She knows all that stuff. I don't have to help her with that. I don't have to help her get the speakers. She knows what she has. My job is to make sure the speakers have everything they need, is everything in order. They're contacting us. If she wants to handle registration when we do that for her, we answer all customer service questions. We do that for both her Reignited International and her ministry from an events perspective. She doesn't need me to do the visionary part. She needs me to be the person that's carrying out her vision and correcting and shifting things. And I manage her team. Her team becomes my team because now they're taking directive from me. So do you have the right people doing the right things? And I encourage you, having an event manager does change the game. I'm just telling you, like I'm not boasting myself by any means, but I'm boasting the business. And I believe that when you have the right people that understand what to do, they're solving problems. They're asking you questions like, I didn't even know I need, what is that? Do we have the insurance? What does the insurance look like? With the contract paperwork, who getting their check on time? That they're asking you these questions off gate. They're not, I don't know. No, they never say, I don't know. Right? Listen, I'm excited. I'm sorry. I get so excited about events. Y'all don't understand. Events is like life to me. And, because I realize the impact they make. So I'm excited for all of you who are hosting events this year. If y'all have any questions, y'all can ask questions. Now, let me tell you this is a back test run, right? We're back testing this product, right? This piece of the product. The beauty of it is that if I'm not mistaken, you should be able to go back and watch the replay once it is broadcast, right? You should be able to. I'm going to test it too. Like, I'm not going to just tell y'all, I'm going to test it too. I'm going to figure out, make sure it works like that, right? Because I always back test it because I want to see how it works. Because this is a product we're going to be using for our clients. Those who want to do live stream, not necessarily, listen, production is like 30,000, like for real. And the average, you're talking about cameras, people, lighting, insurance, like it's a lot. But we want to offer the same dynamic product at an economical rate. And so that's why we're back testing this product. We want to see how it works. People can engage on here. I see people saying hello, hey, hi Marcus, how you doing? People can engage, and we'll have somebody. That's what we're going to offer, somebody sitting there to engage with your audience, someone who's putting up the different slides. We got people that are going to be manning cameras. So we're excited about this product being added to our list of packages that we'll have, starting our packages. For those of you who say, listen, I really want to have a meeting, have a one-on-one. I want to be able to talk about my event. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the best way we can do that. We have a form that you can complete. That'll be done. So if that's you, I think when you register, they gave me your email address and everything. So what I'll do is I'll just send out a whole good big old recap for everything so that you all can have all of that. And I'll just let you know, hey, click this link if that's what you want to do. We'll do that for each and one of you. I'm excited about events for 2023. Listen, this whole point was for you to understand that outside is back open. Our industry is doing big things, big numbers. There's new buildings going up, and they're not really, like I said, they're not building any like 30, 40, 50,000 seaters anymore. They're either adding to that, or there's cities that are actually now getting a convention center. But they have so many options and different options of places that you can host live events. It all's going to depict on, and I'm going to give y'all a little clue about our agency. Once people submit, like they're really serious and they submit, I always, it's a couple things that I do because I'm the senior, manager here, event planner manager here. I always kind of hear the vision and I pray about it because I honestly need to put people that want to do marriage conferences in the room with people who trying to do women's conferences, because really marriage people trying to have sex. Like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to cultivate intimacy. I'm just being honest with you. So we always pray about, we always get an idea of what cities, where people's budget is, what they're looking at doing, because that's so important to me. Because I literally have to feel, I know it sounds ludicrous, but if you ask the staff here, it's a vibe. It's like when I walk into the room, it's a vibe. I know the vibe my client wants to channel, and I got to channel that vibe. And if I don't channel it in that room, they just take the room for us. I'm just telling you, that's really what happens. If I could tell the cuckoo-ness that goes into how we pick locations, y'all be like, these people crazy. But I'll tell you one thing, we get results. Our staff comes in, they be like, yo, this was the place we should have had this event. So I'm excited for all of you and all who decide to do events this year. Listen, tell somebody they can definitely come catch the replay, the recording. I'm going back test it too to see what happens. This is the combos we're at. I hope y'all got some really good content, some nuggets out of the day. We're going to be doing more of these. We're going to be doing some different things. I'm going to be definitely follow us on Instagram, Facebook at LaCroix ET. And if you want to follow me personally, it's at the Tish LaCroix. I'm doing some different things as our team posts. We have so many cities we visited, so many experiences, y'all, that we've had over the years. And even this year, like we got to go see a safari in Wichita. That's how you say it, Kansas, which was really neat. I did video chat with my daughter so she could see the animals live. They let you pet them there, y'all. Wasn't really my thing to pet animals. We were able to go on a cruise, a river cruise in Missouri. Is that where we were? One of the most breathtaking views in Missouri. I got some photos. We're going to start posting those because I'll be doing bad. I do so bad. My team said I do bad without getting them the content they need to post. We did that in Missouri. We got to go see, and I get to experience it, which is even better. We got to go to, let me think off the top of my head. We did the river cruise in Missouri. We got to taste some of the finest chocolates in Texas. We got to go. One thing I didn't get to do, but I'm going to do it. They actually got this place where you can make custom hats. So I'm going to go back there and do that, order that. And then they asked a place where you can actually, for those who want it, they have people there actually who can teach you how to make your own drinks. They did like make your own, I was like medicine. I wasn't medicine, but also talking about you can actually make the drinks. I did the thing. I ain't drink that. I was like, nah, that ain't my thing. But with the different, like there's so many experiences you can have with your people. I'm telling you, we got to see. Now they call it I thought it was gonna be a real rodeo, but it wasn't. But they have that experience. We got to do that outside. So that's the bit of my industry. Like I get to test out things on my clients, with my clients, and for my clients. So that's really cool. So there's so many alternatives. Yoga on the beach. They did sandcastle building this year. I got to see it from my window. I didn't go outside. I was in my room. They've done come on, T, where is it at? We did a taste of Destin. I mean, the food was bananas and so good, right? I'm a foodie. So we did that. So I'm telling you these things to get your energy kind of stirring up. What can I do with my people that's different? We've done private dinners. We did that private dinners restaurant was really, really good. They had really good fish. So you get to experience all of that when you actually host events. And so with that being said, thank you all for spending this past hour with me. I hope you go back, rewind, fast forward, whatever you need to get the nuggets you need. I love y'all so much. Share this video with somebody else. And listen, definitely connect with us as an agency. I'll make sure that email goes out to remind everybody, hey, y'all, thank you all for joining us. And of course, for you all who want to listen, I want to get some information about how I can do a live event. Remember to do life on purpose, with purpose, and for purpose. I hope to see all of you hosting live events in 2023. Have a great afternoon.